All right, YouTube, what we got going today? Well, airbags. Airbags for the old stroke here. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put y'all on time lapse, but um, get all the tools out here and everything. I believe it's going to be easier to go ahead and just pop the wheel off, set it on jack stands and pop the wheel off. I think it'd just be easier for me to do it that way. So we're going to be prepared for it to do it that way. The only thing I'm disappointed in with this right here is the instructions only tell you how to hook this up. It doesn't tell you how to put the compressor and the switch and stuff in. So guess we'll have to figure that out on the fly. We'll see what we do there. But anyways. Alright, YouTube, it's a little windy, but I'll put my mic on later. So the instructions of this is absolutely garbage. It doesn't say what you need to do. This is literally what it is. That is it. Nothing else. I don't even know. So this is literally the instructions that I got. This doesn't even say how to hook up the compressor. Guess we're just going to figure it out. Anyways, YouTube, we're gonna do some sitting and pondering and see what I'm gonna do, then we'll come back. Even the instructions aren't very good on this thing, because this right here shows that they're studs. They're not studs, they're bolts, but whatever, it's okay. I'm gonna start putting it together now. I'm gonna do the best I can to put it together with what I got, and then we will, because it shows the assemble them both together but leave some things loose. So we'll do that, and then we'll take it to the truck. Because that's what everything I keep seeing, that's what it's showing to do. All right, YouTube, phone sitting out in the sun, and it's getting above it, so it's starting to get hot. So I'm moving the phone from different spots, but I got one that's assembled. It's supposed to be assembled loosely, so I guess next thing I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing again, and we'll put them all together, and then we'll get ready to start putting it in the truck. Alright, YouTube, so I got these two assembled, and I'm going to find the one that goes to this side over here. I think it's this one, maybe? I don't know. The instructions doesn't say. I'm telling you, the instructions are garbage. But let me get this turned around. We'll figure out which one goes to the passenger side, and then we'll start. I'll bring y'all in. We'll start putting it on there. All right. Now, if I'm reading the instructions right, which I'm probably not, I got to pull these off. Oops, sorry. Got to pull these off, and this comes down. This goes up in there. The big bolt goes through that hole and that hole. Then that goes back up underneath it. Is the way it looks like on here. So, oh, really like the angle that's going to be of the airbag, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll loosely mount the top and we'll come back. But I'm going to try to find y'all a good spot where you can kind of see and won't be in my way. Well, I don't know how much of that you guys caught. I'll try to adjust this up. But now, there we go, unenhanced. So I told y'all the instructions were just great, right? This one goes the other side. They weren't lining up and I was all freaking out. And it finally took off the other, looked down at the other one, noticed there was a difference. So swapped them over so they're good. Now, this right here says you got to put 4 washers between here and here unless you have the in the bed hitch. Now, I've got an in the bed hitch, but it's a homemade one that's welded in there. So 4 washers will have to be used. Getting the air line up in there is going to suck. I don't know how to fix this any different than what I have it. I mean, that's gonna suck pretty bad. I don't know. What I might do is I might go ahead and pull it out and put the hose on there on this side and just leave it all one length and run it to however I want to do it. I don't know how we're gonna do it yet, because I don't think I'm able to get in there to tighten that up very well, and it's got to be good and tight. So we may pull it out real fast and just put the hose on there. It's a learning curve. You guys watch me do this and struggle with it, and you know how not to do it, right? All right, so this is ridiculous on how long these are, but hey, you know what? I'd rather have too long than too short. So I believe I got everything the way the instructions shows. I keep looking at it. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the bump stop back in there and tighten up all this stuff right here. And that's where you make sure this is aligned. You got to make sure there's room for your hand to go in there because it will rub. But we're going to do all that now. So put you back a time lapse and we'll get this done. The sun is now over my head and everything I touch is 10,000 degrees. It's ridiculous. Well, there we are. Not very impressed, but because these want to go this way, obviously because of the spring, and this one will go this way because of the spring, and no matter how much you loosen them off and push them back down, tighten them up, they just go right back. But I know that the airbag, this right here, is all the same. Both of these are the same as the other ones. This is the way it says to do it, so bolts are super long. It's good with that, I guess. But anyways, so we got, now remember where you put this, because I'm probably going to come back in here and wrap it with something, because you don't want it rubbing on anything. Kind of wish I would have turned that. And I might still put a wrench up in there and turn it just a little bit to aim it in. But anyways, I think I can put the wheel back on and be done with it. But I think what I'm going to do is lift it up on the other side and put a wheel chock over there and leave the back wheels off and just put it on the, I said wheel chock, the whatever that is, stand, and just leave the back wheels off till we get both of them on there, and then get the airbags actually plumbed in. So anyways, I don't know if you guys caught it or not, but I used my little impact on this, then I got my big impact out because I didn't trust it, didn't think it was putting out enough, but it didn't move any with the big impact. So little impact on Milwaukee there does pretty good, I guess. Anyways, I'm gonna chip that off, and I'll go ahead and put the wheel chocks in, or the stands underneath it, and get the other wheels off, and we'll start doing the other side. All right, we're gonna do the same thing on this side as I did the other side. The only difference about this side is I'm not gonna fight y'all. If I start feeling like you guys are just in my way, we'll just move y'all somewhere else. May just put it on without you, I don't know. Don't want to sound like a jerk, but oof, it was a pain last time trying to get everything aligned, and y'all were rotting my way. But I bet we can figure something out, get y'all somewhere. All right, now I got both bags in. I don't know if you guys saw, my wife showed up. She ran the impact on these because that def tank just made it stupid hard. I almost dropped it and took it out of there because I don't use def. If it wasn't for the fact that I'd have all those wire plugs sitting around everywhere, I probably would have. But anyways, it's all in there, it's all tight. I don't know, I don't like how that, I mean, I did the instructions right, or did as the directions said to do it, but it is what it is. I remember, I don't know if you guys saw, but I tied these two together. Now, I didn't cut the hose because I don't want to cut the hose until I absolutely have to. I want to make sure that I have the right amount. And I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but when I hooked them up, now both bags are now one, so it's not as easy to push up and down on this one right here, because it's whatever air's in there is trying to go in the other bag as you're lifting it and moving it. So just a little heads up when you go to do that. But anyways, everything tightened up. Let me ponder a little bit on how this compressor is going to work and where I'm going to put it, and then we'll bring y'all back and we'll get ready to start installing the compressor and the switch. All right, so this right here is just frustrating. There's no instructions, but man, whatever. So if I'm correct, this yellow here, let me see if I can zoom you all out. There we go. This yellow here will go to the compressor, from the relay to the compressor. Then the black will go to ground. The blue will actually go to the positive, full-time positive, fused positive. And then the red will go to a switch, the switch of the deal, which when you hit the button to air it up, it'll trip the red, which will trip this up, which will send the power to the compressor. That's the way I'm seeing it. That's the way everything looks. Whew, I'm a little, that's the only part right out of all this that's above my head, but let's go ahead and show you what I got so far. I'm going to run a fusible link, and I'm going to tie it in to the battery positive, and I'm running the cab. And I'm probably going to go ahead and run a one off of the ground too, and run them both in to the cab. That way I know I got a good ground to it. No worries or no wondering. I'll probably just run them right inside. Well, I don't know how I'm gonna run them. May run over this way, but doesn't matter. All the way to the switch, which I'm not 100% sure I'm gonna put the switch yet. I do have all this pulled out so I can run the stuff back to the compressor. The switch will be mounted somewhere underneath here, I believe. I am gonna put the compressor back here. So I drilled a hole, it's gonna go down, and I'll mount everything in a minute. But that way I ain't gotta worry about it getting water all over it, getting screwed up or anything like that. The line that's gonna come through the floor, I'm going to wrap to make sure that it doesn't rub a hole in there or anything like that. So the compressor side of it is a little bit different because you have to tie the two bags together and send a line up. The line that comes up then has to, well, I'm trying to think, and I have to look at it again because I'm pretty sure I'm right, but it has to hook up to the compressor, but it has to, yeah, tee into the compressor. And as it tees into the compressor, the other wire, or the rest of it, will actually go into the switch itself, which is this right here, for the gauge. So whenever you hit the button to air it up, it'll turn the compressor on, and it's going to air up to this right here against this right here and the bags. And once the bags get full, or if you overfill them or you want to let them down, you just hit this button, which will allow the pressure to come out. So, which will just blow out right here. So that's not as confusing as a stupid relay. Now again, there's probably 5 people on here, well, maybe 6. I'll give myself 6 people watching this who know exactly what they're doing on this, and that is awesome. I'm excited for you. But when it comes to the relays, I'm not all that great with them. And again, the instructions, this thing is just stupid. There's none. But everything I've looked at, that should work. So let me, I'm not going to record it. I just can't think of any reason to do that. But let me run the 2 wires off here and get them down inside the cab, then we'll go from there. All right, so here's what we got so far. Now I only had brown. I didn't have any black wire, so here's brown wire for ground, red wire for positive. I don't have a fuse in it yet, but runs in this conduit right here, goes down, goes into my firewall, and it comes in right here. So now what we got to do is start wiring in all this stuff, and there's not enough room. There's nowhere I can put y'all to watch me wire it. And to be honest with y'all, crimping wires and heat shrinking, you guys can probably care less. So let me get this stuff wired in, and we'll start running stuff back to the compressor. Well, this has just been fun. Absolutely love it. Got everything back down here. I'm gonna go ahead and start zip tying everything up, and because we're done up here. And then, where's that smell? Ooh. We get the compressor set back here and wire it in. I'm not going to bolt to the floor yet. Got to help a buddy of mine later tonight, so I don't know if I'm going to get the air line run, but we are so close. All we lack is finishing. But anyways, let me go ahead and zip tie all this stuff up and get all the panels put back together, and we'll go from there. Yeah, obviously I don't know how much you guys will be able to get. So we're gonna run the airbags together. So I gotta run this side over to this side, and we're gonna put them on a T. And obviously you guys can't see nothing and I can't do anything about it, but let me get these. You don't want to waste any of this because you only got so much of this line, but let me get this ran and yeah, let me get this ran and tied together, and I'll show you what I got. All right, now let's kind of have everything moved inside the truck. I didn't think I was going to be working on it anymore tonight, but so we got both airbags tied together right there. Now again, I still have to zip tie those up once I get it ran differently, but now we're going to run the wire through this hole back here down, and it's going to have to go into that, and then we'll go from there. So let me get that ran really fast and then we'll come back to it. All right, so now we got this going through the floor. It's coming up here. We're gonna tie them in. Now, something that you guys need to understand, if you have a 2019 F-250 or 17 to 19, whatever, probably even any vehicle, don't zip tie anything to the bed, because if they have to pull this bed off for hail damage or anything like that, and it's attached to it, it just makes things a mess. So everything you zip tie to different existing wires, anything, just not to from the frame to the bed. Keep everything separate as you can. So I'm gonna hook these wires up, and then we'll go back in the cab and we'll finish running some more stuff. All right, so we got it all plumbed in there. I do have zip tied. Now I'm gonna tell y'all that I'm gonna have to get some wire loom, and I'll put over it. I'll put it some loom. I don't have the right size right now, but I'm ordering it tonight, so it will have loom on it. So don't think I'm just gonna let it, ride like that, because that's not gonna work. It'll be fine for a little while. I don't drive the truck much. It is going out next weekend, but it sits most of the time. It's just tow wag. So let's keep going. So here's what we're gonna do now. So this right here is coming up. Now it's gonna have to have a T, and this T, here it is basically gonna do this. It's not hooking up here. I'm gonna have a short piece of hose here, obviously, but that's basically what it's gonna do. The bag's coming into here, this, which is a compressor, coming into here, and this goes to the switch. So let's get everything measured out and setting in there and going. Probably gonna go ahead and do the wire connections on the pump while it's back here now. All right, it's starting to get too dark. Now I could just keep pressing on, but that's when mistakes start happening. So what'll be, just a few seconds to y'all will be, 24 hours plus for me. Well, probably not 24 hours, but I do have the wire through here. I did get this on there. This is where we got to hook up the short hose to. I do have it wired together, so when I push this, it should kick the compressor on. So there we go. Let's finish this on this nice and calm day. So now we got the pump wired up, and it does work. Now we just gotta hook these up. Now, if you guys remember, we hook this pump's gonna come into here. One side goes to the bags, the other side goes to the switch. So I'm gonna get this, cut it off probably right about here, because I want to be able to push it down through and move it around and stuff when I put the conduit on it. So let me get this hooked up and bring it back. So there, she's all bolted in. Hindsight 2020, I could have done that a little different, but I'm actually okay with the way it is. This right here, we have a little extra, which is not normal. So anyways, we got that, got run down in here. So now we need to take and get this ran over the switch, get it connected, but I got to run underneath everything here. We want to make sure everything's tucked away. All right, so now we got her all hooked up. I've already jumped in the truck, put my foot up there on the gas, and it's fine. It's close to my shin, but now I don't know anywhere else to put it. Maybe in the future we'll move it somewhere else, but to be able to see it, and I figured where I feel that's that place, so it's fine. So now let's put the fuse in and see what she does. I can feel the truck lifting up. It's on jack stand still, so I don't want to go too much. There we are. Now, moment of truth. I'm gonna have to carry some extra fuses with me because I don't know what size this thing takes. Now, door just blew shut on me. Let's finish it. All right, last part of the video. We're gonna air her up to 80 pounds and make sure we still have a gap. Oh, buddy. That is close. That may not work, guys. We might have to do something else. I think I can shift that airbag. Yeah, see this side's got pretty good amount of space. You probably can't hear a thing I'm saying because of the exhaust. So that's not a big deal. That'll be an easy fix. All we have to do is we'll let the air out of the bags. And this one right here has got a it's got a bolt underneath the bottom. We'll just loosen it up and slide it over. Either way, that ends it for this video. I'm just putting bags on my F-250. So I'll do this one off the camera. You guys just take my word that I'm moving the bag over because I don't want anything to happen to it. Thanks again. There. Just in case you guys didn't believe me. Now I'm done.